Maybe this one will work this time. I don't know. New Wi-Fi is absolute garbage. Yeah, I'm back. This Wi-Fi is really pissing me off. I haven't been able to do any streams that haven't crashed in the middle of them since we got the new Wi-Fi. And this was supposed to be better. So I had to switch. I literally went back and switched and put my old one back on. It's absolutely ridiculous, but I'm back. Still no score, so you didn't really miss anything in the 5 minutes. I guess it was down, but it's very annoying that every time I try and live stream, it lasts for 20 minutes. It's exactly 20 minutes, or like 20 to 21 minutes, and then that's it. It cuts out. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, so if you don't, guess Comcast is just garbage. Good save there by Lundqvist on Kessel. Wow. No, Wi-Fi cut out again, so now I have to make sure that I'm on my old one. That's the only one that apparently will work in the basement down here is my old one. That is absolutely ridiculous. The new Wi-Fi that we got that was supposed to be better is way worse. I have no idea. Like, I'm just gonna keep using the old one. It's way worse than the new one. It's so infuriating that when you're supposed to get something that's upgraded and better, and then they give you trash. Like, I want to go throw that Wi-Fi router in the trash because it's just garbage. But we're back. 8:25 left in the first period, and I'm on the old Wi-Fi, which should work because this is, what I've used for the first however many months of this channel, and I never had much of a problem with it cutting out or anything. It's only been the new one that we've only had for like a month or two now that cuts out. So I'm thinking that this one's going to work, but we'll find out if this one crashes at the 20-minute mark too. Hey, sweet. Thank you. Appreciate it. Always down for new subs. Yeah, like the prices of all of this stuff, internet, cable, everything keeps going up. Everything's more and more expensive. And then the actual product that you're getting is worse. It makes no sense. And it's extremely frustrating. Like, I'm trying to grow a YouTube channel here and like make this something really awesome and big that has a huge audience and following, and I don't even have reliable internet. And from a company that is supposed to be one of the top, internet and cable companies in the world in Comcast. So it's idiotic. What is this commercial? Yeah, I was shocked when I looked at the minutes watched for this channel for 2018. And it was 160,000 minutes. I mean, I could not believe that. Hey, what's going on, King Gamer? Thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I could not believe how much time was spent watching this channel this year. The 50,000 views, too, was just insane. Really wasn't expecting numbers that high. I knew that I had gotten a good amount, but I did not know that those numbers were that high. Discover has no annual fees. They're yeah, I hope that the numbers go up this year. I'm really hoping. Hey, not too much. What's going on, man? Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you stopping in to watch. So, no score so far. Um, about 7 minutes left in the first period. Kind of a slow start to this game. First time these teams have played each other this season. And now we've got a hooking penalty coming against the Rangers. So Pittsburgh's going to get the power play here. I think the Penguins probably win this game. They're really hot right now. I think they pull out a gritty road win here. So if I had to guess and put money on it, I'd say that the Penguins probably win this game. But it's the NHL, and you never know. What was I doing? Sorry, I was gonna say, I usually make like a big thing about making sure that everyone, subscribes and stuff, but liking videos is also very important. If you're gonna bet on them, I would definitely put money on the Penguins here for this game for sure. You don't have to listen to me though. I am definitely not an expert. I mean, I do watch a lot of hockey, but there's no way to fully predict the NHL. I personally think the Penguins are going to win, but that's just me. Yes, the offseason for the Sabres absolutely was good. They went from a dead last in the league to a playoff team. Hey, I never told you to I told you not to take my word for it. I just think the Penguins will win. It's 0-0 right now, Brendan. No, their additions have far outweighed their losses. I mean, Lehner was garbage for the Sabres. I know he's having a decent year with the Islanders, but he was an absolute heaping pile of garbage for the Buffalo Sabres. They went from dead last in the league to this year they look like a playoff team. They've added Dahlin, they added Jeff Skinner, they added Connor Sherry. They're just so much better this year than they were last year. I'm a huge fan of what the Buffalo Sabres did this offseason and what they've been able to do this season. Oh, nice, Brendan. Yeah. I'm not a fan. I'm a Bruins fan who also happens to watch the entire NHL and follow the whole league. So I have, I'm not particularly for or against the Rangers or the Penguins. But obviously, if you're a Rangers fan, you definitely want the Rangers to win. Let's see. Down to 4.5 minutes left in this period. The first 10 minutes of this period went by very, very slowly. There were a lot of whistles. The last 10 minutes, or the last 6 minutes, have really been back and forth and a lot of not nearly as many whistles, pretty fast paced. Oh, when Lucic absolutely plowed through, back when he plowed through Ryan Miller, I mean, obviously he just flat out ran the goalie, but I mean, you're not supposed to run the goalie, but I think the fact that Buffalo didn't do anything about it until like 2 months, or as it happened, the fact that Buffalo did nothing about it was far more telling than anything Lucic did. I mean, if if you're gonna let your goaltender get run, what kind of situation is your team in? If you're just gonna let your goaltender get run over like that, and that really cut down. I mean, the Sabres stunk from then on. That was a huge low point in the entire Sabres franchise. And then I remember when Boston and yeah, basically the Sabres went out and got John Scott because that happened. And I remember the game after, when they played again after that, John Scott wasn't there yet. That was an off-season move. But the guy who had to fight Milan Lucic the game when they played again was Paul Gaustad, who was, Gaustad was a big guy and a tough guy and willing to do anything for his team. But the fact that that was the best fighter you had to throw out there to fight Lucic was Paul Gaustad was extremely telling for the Sabres. And then that was the off season after that was when they went and brought in John Scott, who then KO'd Sean Thornton. Yes. But that did really start the downfall of the. I mean, the Sabres, they were a playoff team in 2010. They played the Bruins in the first round. And then since then, it was all downhill, but now they're on the back going up. Thank you for subscribing, Brendan. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean the Rangers are like doing the exact opposite of tanking. I mean they're playing much better than really anyone I think anticipated them to this year. And while I don't think they're a playoff team, they're not the last place team a lot of people thought they would be. Yeah, I mean Gaustad was a very good fourth liner. If you needed a solid fourth liner who could play center or wing, Gaustad was a great fourth liner in the NHL for a long time. And after Buffalo, he went to Nashville and had a couple of good seasons there. And then obviously was out of the league as he got older, but and retired. But Gaustad was a solid player. He was a guy that I liked a lot. Yeah, no, Mika Zibanejad is a very good player for sure. Nice save. I've been impressed with what I've seen from the Rangers this year. They're playing with a lot of heart and just a lot more grit and energy and ability than I think a lot of people expected from them. They were generally picked to be a bottom team in the East, and they're playing above that level. They're ahead of Philadelphia. They're ahead of New Jersey. They're ahead of Carolina. They're playing at a better level than what was expected of them. Oh, that's awesome, Brendan. Have fun. I mean, it's going to a live, seeing hockey in person live in the rink at the game is just so incredibly awesome. Crosby, I mean, it obviously depends on Crosby's health, how much longer he plays. What's Crosby now? 30-ish, 30, 31, something like that. I mean, I could honestly see him going until he's, 38 years old or 39 years old, maybe 40. He had those concussion problems in the middle of his career, but he stayed healthy the last few years for the most part. At least the concussion issues haven't come back. It seems like he's over that now. He's not a player that gets hit very often. So assuming he stays healthy, I can see him playing for another 7-8 years for sure. Yeah, he's 31, so I can see 7 or 8 more years for sure from Crosby. Maybe he plays it till he's 40. I mean, he obviously has the talent and ability to. It just depends on his long-term health and how much longer he wants to continue playing. So this is interesting and something that you don't see every day. A horn just randomly sounded in the middle of the game. So obviously they stopped play, and now nobody has any idea what's going on. The referees don't really know. The timekeeper doesn't really know. No one knows what's going on. So, yeah, I guess it was just an inadvertent horn, and they got to restart play now. Still 0-0, T. Wow. I didn't I didn't know that he was that close to Bobby Hull. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible that he's only 6 points away. I mean, 6 points, he'll probably get that, within a week, maybe two, depending on how the games go. Oh, that was a good chance for the Rangers. Nice defensive play there by Pittsburgh. And now the Penguins pull the puck into the offensive zone and get some chances here. Another shot wide there for Pittsburgh, and the Rangers just clear it all the way down. Not icing. Very good clear there. Kind of a wobbly puck, and it just kind of died in the zone. Good save there by Lundqvist. Wow. So now 3-on-3 for the Rangers coming back the other way, and a great defensive play by the Pittsburgh defenseman there. Hand pass called now. So with a minute left, minute 1 second, minute left. Whistle there. Still 0-0. Not a whole lot happening. No, I definitely didn't think Pittsburgh was going to miss the playoffs, but something still, they don't seem like those dominant Penguins teams of the past. There's just something off this year. They're still a very good team, though. Certainly a playoff team. Yeah, Sidney Crosby is definitely an easy player to hate if you're not a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. That's for sure. So we're coming into the end of the period here. 30 seconds. Pittsburgh's just trying to get the puck out of the zone. Oh, nice deflection in front there. Good save by Murray. Deflection by Kreider, maybe. And Murray just makes a positional save there on the deflection. The deflection went right into his chest. No, I'm not a Sidney Crosby fan at all. I think he's such a whiner. No, I'm not a Hawks fan. I am a Boston Bruins fan. Not enough time. Just dump it down. That's the end of the first period. 0-0 game at the end of the first period. Not a whole lot going offensively. Crosby doesn't get nearly enough abuse. He's barely touched by the around the league. If I were playing Sidney Crosby, got it. If Crosby played in the 80s, he would have gotten absolutely. Actually, no, he probably wouldn't have gotten abused more because there would have been somebody playing on his right or left wing that would absolutely beat the shit out of anyone who touched him, like McSorley and Semenko did for Gretzky. But I would Crosby hardly doesn't get hit nearly enough as he should. Oh, he would have scored well over 200 points if he played in the 80s. You know how easy it was to score points in the 80s? The point totals were through the roof. Every game was like 8-5. Like he would have easily scored 200 points a year in the 80s. He would have been right up there with Gretzky as far as point scoring. Certainly would have been Lemieux level. I'm not saying I just don't like him as I don't like Sidney Crosby. I'm not saying he's not good at hockey. He's incredibly good at hockey. He's this generation's Wayne Gretzky. I just don't like him. If he was on my team, I would love him, but he's not, and I can't stand the guy. Yes, Morgan Riley absolutely got robbed of an All-Star game spot, but that's what I mean by like the system. This system, this 3-on-3 game style kills defensemen. Only two defensemen from each division make it. Really? There's only two all-star defensemen in each division, and the Pacific got three because, God, they couldn't have Burns, Carlson, or Doughty miss. God for one of those guys couldn't miss. You can't have an all-star game without Doughty. You can't have an all-star game without Brent Burns. Oh, but then what about Erik Karlsson? So the Pacific gets three defensemen in, but everyone else only gets two. And how Morgan Riley didn't get into the All-Star game is beyond me. He's had a ridiculous season offensively. Kid's been unreal. I mean, maybe because his defense isn't all that great, or Toronto's defense in general, but Morgan Riley stands out on Toronto's defense because he's so good, and the rest of them are so average at best. He really stands out on Toronto's defense. So I don't know how Morgan Riley didn't make the All-Star game. He absolutely should have. Yeah, I don't even bother comparing eras. Comparing eras is just stupid because there were so many differences. So many differences between the 60s to the 80s, then from the 80s to the 2000s to now. Everything's completely different. You can't compare players from different eras because you have no idea how it actually would have turned out. What I do know is that if anyone touched Sidney Crosby in the 80s, they would get absolutely destroyed because you had actual enforcers who didn't give a shit about taking penalties, who didn't care about getting suspended, who didn't care about, having too many penalty minutes. You had guys who went out there and had no problem racking up 300 penalty minutes a year, and their sole job was to beat the living crap out of anyone who touched a star player on their team. You don't have that anymore, so star players can get knocked around and can get pushed back around. And I mean, it's just different now. If I were playing now, against a player like Crosby. I would absolutely want my fourth line guys just hacking away at him, finishing every hit they could, going after him after the whistle, doing all of that shit. And it's like, it's a fourth line guy. Who cares? What's the league going to do? Suspend him for 2 games? Okay, I'll just call someone up and have him do the same thing. The hell do I care? Like, and no one, who on Pittsburgh is going to come after me? Oleksiak probably won't, Oleksiak is going to shy away from fighting, I would think now, at least for a few weeks, because he just got KO'd. Yeah, I think a lot of players. I mean, they're showing the guys who didn't make it into the All-Star game now, like the biggest names that didn't. And man, there are some incredibly good players not going to the All-Star game. Oh yeah, Logan Couture will end up making it. They still have like vote in. They have a vote in spot for each team. Um, I think Logan Couture will definitely get in for the Pacific. I would think of the names on that list, I think he's the most deserving. I hope Bergeron gets in, but he missed. Would I fight Sidney Crosby? Absolutely. Absolutely. If Sidney Crosby walked into my house right now and wanted to fight, I would 100% fight Sidney Crosby. Uh, Trade rumors are all over the place right now. I think Pietrangelo is probably the biggest name. Panarin. See, Panarin was the biggest name, but now it seems like there's a chance he could sign an extension with Columbus. That the latest is that he has not ruled out staying in Columbus. So I don't know what's going on with Panarin. Pietrangelo apparently is on the market, but I don't know. I I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say anything about trade rumors until something more concrete comes out. Because right now it's all just talk. So until somebody like a Bob McKenzie or Darren Drager says like this team is talking to this team about this player, that's when the rumors for me become a little more real than just people on Twitter or Facebook throwing out trade possibilities. Yeah, Tarasenko. I mean, St. Louis could potentially move Tarasenko and Petrangelo. I mean, with how bad this year's gone for them, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, yeah, Panarin. I mean, Panarin's under contract for this entire season. So, I mean, if he didn't get traded at the deadline, he was going to stay in Columbus. But the thing with Panarin was for a while it was reported that he wouldn't sign beyond this year with Columbus. He didn't want to live in Columbus long term. And he wanted to go to a big city like either New York or back to Chicago, maybe LA. He wanted to go to a big city like that. But now apparently he is open to signing long term in Columbus. So he could end up staying beyond this season. We don't know yet. So I mean, Panarin's situation is going to be a really interesting one to see play out. Honestly, I would if I'm if I was going to go vote right now for the All-Star thing for that last person in vote, I would vote in Riley for the Atlantic Division over Bergeron. Bergeron missed a good number of games. Obviously, I mean, all you had to do is watch the freaking Winter Classic, and you know how incredibly good of a two-way player Patrice Bergeron is, and how he's absolutely the most important player on the Bruins. But he missed a good chunk of the season. I think Morgan Riley is an extremely deserving guy to get into the All-Star game. All right, they're talking about Panarin right now with Darren Dreger. All right, so apparently there is an interest in both sides for Panarin and Columbus to negotiate a long-term deal. So he could, it's at least open. He's at least open to re-signing in Columbus. He also obviously could choose to test the market. Yes, I do think Chiarelli finally gets fired. It's gonna come at the end of the season, though. Once Edmonton misses the playoffs, Edmonton's going to miss the playoffs, I think, this season, and once they miss the playoffs, I think Chiarelli's out as GM. Hopefully, Chiarelli's out as GM. I think I've over the course of my videos, you guys all probably know my opinion of Peter Chiarelli is not a very high one, and I think he'll be fired at the end of this year once Edmonton misses the playoffs. I don't talk about politics at all. This is a hockey channel for hockey only. If you want my political opinion, I can start a political channel, but I am not crossing the two. And I really have I hate politics. I have no interest in talking about them. They're extremely annoying. I'm just here for the hockey. Which is funny because I was a political science minor in college, and I actually like the way that like politics work and stuff, and understanding what like the way that things work and why like things happen the way that they do. I just absolutely hate talking to other people about politics because there's every single time it just turns into two people who neither of whom are going to at all change their opinions and already have their views and the way that they think about things and what they believe. And all it ends up in is two people just yelling at each other for no reason, just doing it. It accomplishes nothing. Nobody's changing their opinions. So what? It's just a waste of time and just makes people end up hating each other and not talking to each other for absolutely no reason. It's like, who cares who this person likes or who this person likes in politics? Like, don't even talk about it and just talk about something else. And those two people could get along perfectly fine. And then as soon as politics comes into play, all of a sudden they hate each other. It's just dumb. Absolutely dumb. People can't have a civil conversation anymore. So just talk about something else. That looks disgusting. That they just showed a commercial for this atrocious breakfast thing. This like it's like meat, cheese, and like vegetables all in it, and then you crack an egg into it and put it in the microwave. And I'm sure it's just completely all processed food, like nothing fresh about it, been sitting in a freezer for months, just absolute garbage. But you just crack an egg into it and then put it in the microwave, and that's your breakfast. That looks absolutely disgusting. Can't believe anyone would buy that. Um, Ovi not playing in the All-Star game again. If I was in Ovechkin's situation, I absolutely would think about sitting it out too. I mean, listen, if you're a player going to your first All-Star game, or you're somebody who doesn't go to the All-Star game every year, and maybe this is something that you only get to do once or twice in your career, then you would absolutely go and you would play in the All-Star game. But if you're Alex Ovechkin, who's in the All-Star game literally every season, wouldn't it get old after a while? And you played so much hockey over the past couple of years, playing all of last season, then a deep, long playoff run all the way to winning the Stanley Cup. Now you have another full 82-game season, and hopefully, if you're the Capitals, another long, deep playoff run. Wouldn't you rather have the time off than go play pond hockey on the complete other side of the country? Like, if you're Ovechkin, who plays for the Capitals, do you really want to go to San Jose and play 3-on-3 pond hockey for, like, I don't know, how many All-Star selections is this for Ovechkin? Like, how many years has he been in the league? Like, your 10th All-Star game? Like, what's the point? I'd rather have the rest if I was Ovechkin too. So I don't blame him at all for skipping out. Hopefully the second period comes back soon. It's been Hey guys, sorry. I'm in my group chat now, talking about stocks and how Apple stock plummeted today with the report coming out about their less than desirable earnings. That is something that I'm very interested in and like a lot and are willing to talk about, is the stock market, because I've gotten into that a really big time and really enjoy that. I was actually thinking about making another channel, obviously completely different from this one, but one, talking about stocks and like looking at my account and stuff and how I'm trying to grow it and swing trading and stuff like that. So that's something I've gotten into in the last few months. But yeah, this channel's for hockey only. So second period's back, by the way. Hey Rob, how's it going? Yeah, Apple went down bad today. Honestly, seeing Apple at a big time low like this, went down to 8% after hours. I'm thinking about. I mean, I would obviously need to do more research, and I would never give stock advice because I'm a complete stock market beginner. But I'm thinking about potentially, buying big into Apple while it's way down like this, and see if it gets back up into that 200 range. If you can buy in at like 140, 150, and it goes back up to 200, maybe even to 220, that you've got massive profit potential at that point. So that's something that definitely requires more research on my end. Yeah, wow. Detroit's up on Calgary 2-0. That is definitely surprising, given where those two teams are in the standings for sure. Well, that's the thing. That's why Apple's one of the main reasons Apple's having a hard time now is that their iPhone sales are down, especially in China. They're having big time problems in China right now with with the trade war going on, and also a lawsuit with Qualcomm. There's a lot going on, but China's been a big problem for Apple, and their iPhone sales around across the board haven't been great. I'm actually supposed to be getting an XR very soon, hopefully like within the next week or maybe two. But I'm supposed to be getting an XR very soon. I cannot wait. I have heard nothing but good things about the XR. Oh, great save there by Lundqvist. I don't know who shot that for Pittsburgh. Might have been Pearson, but I'm not sure. But that was an excellent save by Lundqvist. Yes, the Ravens made the playoffs. Shit. My soda's empty. I might have to get up and get another one before the third period. Damn it. Oh, that's good. Yeah, everyone that I've talked to who has a 10R or XR 10R interchangeable, everyone who has one or knows about them says that they're great phones. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting one. A lot better than this piece of junk. Well, I mean, this phone's been good for me. It's some Android type. I'm not sure. I've had this phone for like 4 years now. Lasted a long time, but it is very old at this point. Apps are starting to not work on it, so I need to get a new one really bad. I want to switch to iPhone. I've heard great things about the XR, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, not a whole lot going on in this game. This rivalry has really died down over the last few seasons. There's not a lot of physicality between these teams anymore. Not a lot of hatred between these teams anymore. And this is not been this hasn't felt like an intense physical emotional rivalry game at all. It's been kind of a quiet game to this point. Now here come the Rangers up ice, but they just dump it in. I don't know, Rob. I didn't know that they particularly did. I wasn't aware of that. Is that offsides? Yeah, offsides by the Rangers. I don't know why the Steelers would hate Eli. I don't think Eli's ever really done anything to them. Yeah, I'm not sure about that buy one get one free deal. Um, I think that might be only with certain cell providers, but I'm not sure. The next Bruins game, the Bruins play tomorrow night against Calgary. I think. Yeah, I'm 95% sure that the Bruins play Calgary tomorrow night. Um, yeah, I don't have the schedule pulled up in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that's it. All right, so the Ranger, good back check there. I don't know, that was Hornquist, I think. Great back check. New York would have had a grade A chance from the slot, but Hornquist came back and broke the play up. Yeah. Okay, so Calgary tomorrow and then Buffalo again on Sunday. So Bruins and Sabres making themselves acquainted, and those are good games. Those teams are very, very close to each other. They're real close in the standings. They're real close as far as talent and how good the team is. Those are good games to watch. Oh, good digging for it in the crease of the Rangers, but Murray covers it, and I mean nothing after the whistle between these teams. No, I mean Buffalo. I've been very, very with Buffalo this year. I like what's going on with the Sabres, and that rebuild is Saturday. So Buffalo's. Yeah, that's a great game to go to. T. I'm also very jealous of your friend. There we go. We got a goal finally. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Zach Aston Reese from the slot. Nets a goal. He's from New York too, I believe. Aston Reese is from New York. So first goal at MSG. That's a big moment for him. Not his first career goal. No, nothing Lundqvist could do about that. You lost money. I thought I told you that the Penguins were going to win. Hey, goal horns, what's going on? Life's pretty good. How are you? How are you? So Reese scores in his first ever game at MSG. That is awesome for him. And now the Rangers are going to get a power play. Why are you bad, goal horns? What's going on? Oh, oof. Usually betting against me is not a bad idea, but I think I'm right about this one. Yeah, Penguins are on fire right now. I don't know if Jeff Skinner's the chosen one, but he is having a tremendous goal-scoring season for Buffalo, and he's a big reason why Buffalo has been successful this year. Adding Jeff Skinner was a huge move for the Sabres. Oh, yeah. Going back to school? That must suck. Glad I don't have to do that anymore. See, that is just not a game that I want to watch. Um, Islanders versus Hawks is just not a game that I really want to watch. Cross conference game, no rivalry between the teams. Um, Chicago's not very good this year. I'm just not interested in that game. Oh, Skinner is absolutely a top. I mean, for sure. He's for sure a top six forward. Definitely can be a first liner. He's having a great year too. Um, Holy crap, dude! You're betting $1,000. That's a lot of money. I would not be one to gamble $1,000. No, I'd much rather put that 1,000 into the stock market and at least have an idea of what I'm doing with it and have somewhat of a prediction of what's going to happen. Oh, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine. Yeah, I'd bet $10. Definitely not 1,000. My predictions for the NFL playoffs. I think the Chargers are gonna. I'm only gonna do this wild card round. So Chiefs and Patriots are already moved on. I think the Chargers beat the Ravens. I think the Texans beat the Colts. I think Chargers beat the Ravens. Texans beat the Colts. In the NFC, um, what is it? The Saints and the Rams have already moved on, and you have Cowboys versus shit. You have Eagles versus Bears, and Seahawks versus Cowboys. Seahawks beat the Cowboys, um, and the Bears beat the Eagles. So those are my NFL predictions for this weekend. Probably wrong about those two. Yeah, no, November was definitely the big month for the Sabres. December wasn't bad, but it was okay. January, you got to hope that they're a little better in January, but they do have a tough schedule. I would love to see the Saints win the Super Bowl. I'm a Patriots fan, but if the Patriots aren't going to win it, I would love to see the Chiefs, Rams, or Saints win it. Those are the other teams that I really enjoy watching. I like the players on the team. I would definitely not be against them winning. But obviously, I'm rooting for the Patriots. But I don't think the Patriots have a Super Bowl team this year. All right, so Pittsburgh's killed the penalty. They're in the offensive zone now, and it looks like they're going to get another good chance. Good save there by Lundqvist. And New York's going to clear the zone. I mean, they had to trade Jimmy G. They had to trade either Brady or Jimmy G, and they obviously weren't going to trade Brady. They now they need a new young quarterback who's going to be the next starter, because it certainly is not Brian Hoyer. Oh yeah, probably. He was probably trying to play injured and it didn't work. But I still, he's not. He's prone to streaks. He's prone to up and down goaltending, and he's playing very well right now. But I don't know that that's going to keep up all year long. He might go through another rough patch, and again, he could get injured again. You never know. Yeah, Alex Ovechkin wasn't suspended from the All-Star game. He chose not to go to the All-Star game, and he's getting suspended. He gets suspended for one game after that because he chose not to go to the All-Star game, because the league doesn't want all their star players not going to the All-Star game. That would make the All-Star game pointless. So it's an automatic one-game suspension if you skip the All-Star game. Ovechkin is saying screw it and skipping the All-Star game anyway because he wants the rest. And as a guy who goes to the All-Star game year in and year out, I don't blame him for really being done with it and not wanting to go. No, I've been a Patriots fan my entire life, and I live 30 minutes away from Gillette Stadium, so I'm definitely not a bandwagon fan. I am a lifelong diehard Patriots fan. All right, so Calgary gets back to within one against Detroit. Again, Detroit's not a team that I would necessarily trust to hold the lead, so that game's certainly far from over. And the Penguins score again. I think Gensel took the shot. I think Brian Rust might have deflected it in front, but that's nonetheless it's another Penguins goal, and they're up 2-0 now. If the Caps and Pens meet in the second round, honestly, I think I would pick the Capitals this time. I've always picked the Penguins. I picked the. Did I pick? I don't remember my predictions from last year, but I didn't even predict the Capitals to make it to the second round last year. That's right. I thought they were going to blow it in round one. Did the exact opposite. But I would have picked the Penguins last year. I think seeing the Capitals finally not choke and actually win a cup and go all the way. I think they're a team that I can trust in the postseason now, for the first time ever, or at least in my lifetime, or not my lifetime necessarily, but as long as I've known hockey. Yes, T. Yes, you do. If you skip the All-Star game, you get suspended one game. It's a league rule. That's literally in the rule book, so the NHL doesn't have all their star players choosing to skip the game. Like, you know how in the NFL nobody actually goes to the Pro Bowl? Like half the players skip it. It's because the NHL doesn't want that for their All-Star game. So if you're not injured and just choose to skip the All-Star game, you automatically get suspended for one game, the next game after the All-Star game. So Ovechkin is going to be suspended for that one game. Worth it. Carter Hart, I mean, I still think the Flyers are taking a chance in calling him up this early, but he hasn't played bad. He hasn't been played poorly. He doesn't have a very good team in front of him. But I think he's not he's been okay. He's been fine. I don't think he's a savior for the Flyers or anything, but he's been fine. Sorry, I'm just tweeting out for NHL Fight Alert because there was a fight in the Vancouver-Ottawa game. Ben Harper fights again for Ottawa, so that means Ottawa increases their lead as the top fighting team in the NHL. And I think Harper might be the league leader in fights now, as far as individual players go. So I think Ben Harper leads the league in fighting majors now, or at least tied for first, if not the outright leader. I mean, at least it makes their games more exciting. I mean, everyone knew Ottawa was going to be a last place team. I mean, look at their freaking roster. But at least now you can watch a garbage team play and it still be somewhat exciting because you know, hey, there's probably going to be a fight tonight. I think that's Harper's 5th fight of the year. Let me check. I'll go to hockey. They're not gonna have. I'll go to hockeyfights.com. They might not have this one in updated yet, but I can do the math. Harper. Yeah, they haven't put this one up yet, but the current. Where is the hockeyfights.com redid their whole site layout and it's good on your computer, but on mobile it's taking some getting used to for sure. Another Pittsburgh goal. Here we go. 2018-19 players leaders. Let's see. Yeah, Letang scores. 3-0 Pittsburgh now, and they're starting to run away with it. Yeah, Ben Harper has 5 fights now. Rob Ray, Enforcer Hall of Famer, Buffalo Sabres legend. No, I'll change my opinion on the Penguins if they win the division because I already think that they're gonna probably finish in second place. I know they're a playoff team, so the only way that they're gonna change my opinion is if they finish higher than what I already expected. That would be for them to win the division or go make it past the second round in the playoffs, which I also don't think they're going to do. Oh, Rangers get one back quickly there. Hang on. I was on Drop Your Gloves for something. Hey, Tucker, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Oh, now it's 3-1. Shit. It is the second period. Yeah, they are only 1 point behind Washington. I think Washington's a very good team, though. I really like the Capitals. Think they had a bit of a sluggish first month of the season, but they've really. I think they're back to being a very good Washington Capitals team. And yes, Ben Harper has 5 fights on the year. And there's about 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes left in the second period here. And wow, that was a great chance for Brian Rust from the slot, but the shot got blocked. And Lundqvist just covers it. Oh, Murray didn't even see that. Just got redirected in front, and Murray didn't even see it. Attack. Well, here come the Rangers back. A little bit of a push here after they get that goal. I mean, they obviously need the next goal to have any chance. If this were to get to 4-1, I mean it's just over at that point. Good save there by Matt Murray. 5:45 left in the second period. Going to commercial now. I'm going to go grab another drink here. So I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to be gone for like maybe 10 seconds. I just got to grab a drink from the fridge. So I'll be back real fast. Okay, I'm back. These lemon lime Mountain Dews are fantastic. Had to have another. Well, about the late game tonight, Colorado needs to get back on track. They've had a good season to this point, but lately they have not been playing well. They need to get back on track because they are in a very tough division, and if you do not want to get caught by those teams behind you in that division, you can drop in the standings really quickly. So I think Colorado comes up with a big-time performance, really makes a statement, shows that they're gonna turn things around and put on be back to being that team that was right up there with Nashville and Winnipeg for a good portion of this season. So I got Colorado tonight. Yeah, Colorado has not been playing well lately. I don't know their record in their last 10 games, but it is not good. All right. Oh, Derek's back. Awesome. Thank you for coming back, Derek. Appreciate it. um, yeah, T, you didn't delete that message. Hang on. Oh, have some whiskey. I'm just I'm sticking to soda tonight after New Year's Eve. I think I'm good with the whiskey. I hope you all had a great New Year's Eve. I had definitely. I think I can pretty much say that this past New Year's Eve, that like 2 nights ago, was probably the best one of my life. It was fantastic, so much fun. Hope you guys had a great time too. But definitely not gonna drink whiskey tonight. Might. Here we go. Oh, great back check there from Brady Shea. Yeah, I did see it, T. But yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. 2-5-3. That's not very good. So that they're a team that needs to get back on track. I think a win against a quality opponent like San Jose at home tonight would be a very good thing for. We got another goal here. Would be a huge thing for the Colorado Avalanche. Awful breakdown there defensively by the Rangers, and Pittsburgh goes up 4-1. Yeah, the game's over. Pittsburgh is not going to blow a Pittsburgh's not going to blow a 4-1 lead against the Rangers. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, it was a great pass from Malkin. Simon just got to rip that shot from the slot with no defense resistance at all. So that was a huge breakdown by the Rangers. Poor defensive zone coverage, and it quickly ends up in the back of your net. Yeah, Rob must be having a fun time again with the old bong or something. Actually, the way he acts when he's future Rob, it literally feels like he might be like dropping acid or something. Oh, that shot for the Rangers just went wide. Really close to snagging a goal there, but it went wide. Oh, what a save from Murray. How he got that rebound save, I have no idea. What a save from Matt Murray there. That was just huge. Original slap shot with a great shot, but it got blocked, and then it's just laying in the crease, and Jesper Foss couldn't put it home. Murray with a great pad save. Tell you, this Penguins team is hot right now. Matt Murray is flaming hot right now. Um, they're definitely back on track for sure. Yeah, incredible save. I don't know how he knew that the puck was there. I don't know how he saw that. Yeah, that is a flaming hot team right there. 12-2-1. Still not gonna catch Tampa Bay, I don't think. I still think over the course of the full season, long term, I think Washington wins the division, but I see no reason why Pittsburgh shouldn't finish second. They're a better team than Columbus. Nobody's catching Tampa. There's easy save by Lundqvist, and he left a terrible rebound. Did that shot go off the post? That almost looked like it was in. That's not. Must have hit iron. Rangers just iced it. Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh's absolutely winning this game. Yeah, Rick Nash is considering retirement. He's currently out of the NHL, never signed in the offseason. And because of concussions, he's considering it retirement. I think Nash is probably going to retire. Do I think that Tampa will choke in the playoffs? I mean, they're certainly not guaranteed anything. You still have to show up and play. Just because you're Tampa Bay and just because you're stacked doesn't mean, oh, yeah, that shot from Simone rang post. They're certainly not guaranteed anything. They still have to show up and play. Just because they're the best team doesn't mean that they're just going to be able to walk through the playoffs to win a Stanley Cup. I mean, they might be able to walk through the first round in like maybe 5 games like they did last year. But I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight once you get to the second round, and certainly once you get to the third. I mean, there's no easy road to the Stanley Cup. It just doesn't exist. You're going to have to go through some very tough competition. Mitch Marner should have been an all-star ahead of John Tavares, I think. Marner should have gotten the spot that Tavares got. He's having an unbelievable season. Yeah, no, I love the NHL playoffs. You have to show up and play. Nothing is guaranteed, and every series is a fight. You have to play good hockey if you want to win a series in the NHL. No, I'm not reporting anybody. Oh yeah, it's definitely all about the playoffs. I mean, nothing you do in the regular season matters, unless if you don't do it in the playoffs. You got to perform in the playoffs. It's all about winning the Stanley Cup. Hey, 3-3 Calgary. Calgary ties it up. Nice. Not surprised. Detroit's not a team that you should trust holding a lead. They're not very good. So, yes, Pittsburgh is absolutely going to the playoffs. All right. 4.7 seconds left in the second period. We're almost done. Yeah, Braden, there were a ton of all-star snubs just because there's so few spots with this current 3-on-3 format. Hey, Fortnite Pro, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping in on the stream. I mean, you can't really blame Lundqvist for some of these goals. I mean, some of the chances have been high-quality chances. All right, we're at intermission here. It is 4-1 Pittsburgh. End of the second period. I am going to move my computer now off of this flaming hot blanket that holds all the heat in and move it onto my lap so we get some airflow here. Hang on. Not going to do that and break the camera. There we go. All right. So now we get some airflow going in my computer, and we can talk. We got 18 minutes to talk about whatever you guys want before this game comes back. Will I watch the All-Star game? Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, it depends on what I'm doing that day. If there's other stuff that I have to do, then obviously not. But most likely, yes. All right. Yeah. No. Cool. You guys can dip in and out whenever you guys want. Obviously. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for watching. Let's see here. I'm going to check the phone, see if there were any other fights in the NHL tonight. Given the matchups from what I remember, I would say probably not. No, the Rangers will not be making a comeback, I don't think. No, it doesn't look like anything else tonight. Just that Schaller-Harper fight. Okay. We'll see if anything happens in one of the later games, but I doubt it. So, yeah, I'm probably going to be doing a video tomorrow about the All-Star game in some way. I don't know exactly what yet, if I'm going to do snubs or if I'm going to do, like just reviewing the teams or whatever. But there'll probably be an All-Star game video tomorrow about something involving it. So far so good. As far as this stream and not cutting out and losing it. So I think from now on I'm gonna use my old Wi-Fi in the basement. So when I'm in the basement, I will use the old one when I'm down here. But at least the streams work again now. That's nice. Um, let's see. The Rangers were supposed to be going to be good and aren't trying to be a playoff team. They're trying to be a rebuild team. They're trying to get some young talent in there. I think the Rangers have had a very good season to this point, given their roster. They were supposed to be in last place, and they're not. They're ahead of Philly. They're ahead of Carolina. They're ahead of New Jersey. Um, I think it's good. They're not a playoff team, but they're still better than what people expected. Um, I personally have an Instagram. I don't have one for Off the Wall Hockey. I have a Facebook and Twitter page for Off the Wall Hockey, but I don't have an Instagram for that. I do have a personal Instagram though. And if you want to follow that, I mean, you're welcome to. I can give it to you if you're interested. But I don't know if you mean like me personally or this channel. Well, unfortunately for you, that's the direction the Rangers are going in. They were an old team. Their cup window completely closed. They missed the playoffs last year. So they're in a full-on rebuild mode now. All right, let's go through some scores here. Vancouver is up on Ottawa 2-1 in the second intermission. The Flames and Red Wings are tied 3-3. The Penguins and Rangers obviously are. This game is 4-1 Pittsburgh, and the Devils are up on the Stars 1-0. That's a little bit of a surprise there. But the Devils have been playing a little bit better lately, so. But again, that's only 8 minutes into the game, so still a long way to go in that one. This is David Quinn's first year as coach. They just changed coaches. David Quinn was brought in to be the. They're not going to fire him. They just hired him. This is his first year of just developing young players and trying to be a rebuilding team. Ugh, I hated Alain Vigneault. I cannot stand Alain Vigneault. Absolutely hate that guy. That guy was just so soft. Like he put soft hockey teams on the ice. Oh, absolutely hated that guy. Yeah, I didn't do a Hang on, sorry, stock talk again. Looking at potentially buying Apple tomorrow. I won't bore you with the stock talk if you're not interested in that, but I'm in my group chat now. What was it? The trade for Vancouver? I didn't do a video on that today. I didn't do any videos today other than this stream. I'll probably talk about it tomorrow, although it did mostly involve AHL and borderline NHL quality players. But I might do a video on that. Oh, trust me, dude. I'd love to coach the Rangers. Hell yeah. You want to give me an NHL head coaching job? Give me that all the way. But yeah, I'm going to look more in depth at that Vancouver trade and maybe do a video on it tomorrow. Vancouver and Ottawa just made a trade. But again, it mostly involved borderline NHL, AHL quality players. So it's not anything that's going to vastly change their lineup in any way. Do I think that I think it's too early to tell with Colleton because, I mean, Chicago, it doesn't matter who the coach is. They're not going to be a good team. They just don't have a good roster right now. Their veteran players are just aging and not the players that they used to be. Their young players aren't ready to be, carry a team yet. Chicago is going through a rebuild, and it's going to be a little bit before they're good again. It doesn't matter who the coach is. You could have anyone coach that team. They're not going to be a good team. So I think it's too early to tell with Colleton. He might be. If you're head coaching in the NHL at 33 years old, I think he is, obviously there's like people see some very, very good things in you as a coach. So I have very good reason to believe that overall Jeremy Colleton is a good hockey coach, because you don't see a lot of 33-year-olds head coaching at the NHL level, even the AHL level. Usually you have to be an assistant for years before you get a head gig. I definitely couldn't be a coach. Most coaches have long histories of playing in the NHL, or at least being around the NHL, or coaching junior hockey and then moving up, or coaching minor league hockey and then moving up. I have none of that experience. I have been watching hockey my entire life, but I don't think I'll ever be a coach. I also played. Yeah, Brendan, you're new, so you don't know this. I did play hockey for 12 years, and I've been watching it since I was, able to even comprehend sports. So, I, if it seems like I know a lot about hockey, I don't mean to brag, but I tend to think that of all things, I probably do know quite a bit about hockey. All right, back to the stock talk here. Yeah, I definitely love hockey too. Without a doubt, my favorite sport. Uh, all right. Still at intermission here. While we're at intermission, I guess this is a good time to do this. If you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. And as long as you're a fan of hockey and a fan of the NHL, there are videos here for you. I do videos on topics from across the NHL on a pretty regular basis, and I do these live streams as well. So hit that subscribe button and follow along. And also, if you enjoy this stream, give it a thumbs up. That helps out a lot. One thing I've learned over the last few months, in about a year doing YouTube, is that liking videos actually helps those videos out a lot. It helps them move higher in YouTube's algorithm, and it opens it up for more people to see the video. So giving it thumbs up really does help a lot. All right, sports nerd, I'm going to get to your question right now. The Panthers, do they still have a chance to get in? The Panthers are tough because they had such a garbage start to the year, but they were able to hang around 500. And what we saw them do last year was have a very bad first half of the season and then have a extremely good second half of the season. And they were able to get within 1 point of a playoff spot and just missed out of taking that last wild card spot. So now we have Florida almost doing the exact same thing. They were a 500 team at the start of the year, but they're looking better now, and we're getting into the second half of the season. If they can have a good second half like they did last year, they do have a chance to get in, because I don't fully trust Montreal to stay in a playoff spot. I think the Islanders will be tough competition for a wild card spot, but if you're going to have the Islanders, the Rangers, the Canadians, and the Panthers at least fighting for that last wild card spot. So I can't count the Panthers out completely yet. I think if they have a very good second half again, they definitely have a chance to snag a wild card spot. That's just my opinion, but I think you can't completely count them out yet. I can enable super chat when I get to 1,000 subscribers. That's another monetization thing that you have to be at. You have to be at 1,000 subscribers and monetized before you can have super chat. So once I get to 1,000 and monetize the channel and be able to start making money doing this, then I will definitely add super chat and have that be a possibility. Yeah, Florida, Aaron, I agree. I think if I were to bet, I would say that I have Arizona. Well, I don't know why I just said Arizona. That makes no sense. I think if I were to bet, I would bet on Florida missing, but I don't think you can completely count them out. Not yet, anyway. You could PayPal me, T. That's always an option. I usually don't have my PayPal up or anything on this, but you could PayPal me if you wanted to. I could if you go to PayPal, it will say like send to, and then you would just put in my email on which is on the account, which is hang on. This is my email, and I believe on PayPal you could send directly to my email. Oh, hang on, that's wrong. Don't do that. That's wrong. I am an idiot. I forgot the number. I'm going to delete that. Ignore that one. How do I delete this message? Yeah. Jonathan, yeah, that's my email. I think if you go to PayPal, you can just, send to that person or that email account. That I have no idea because I currently don't have an Apple phone. I have Android still. I'm switching to iPhone, hopefully within the next week. But I currently don't have Apple Money or what is it? Shit. I can't even think of it. It's like I don't have Apple anything, so I don't know if you can do that. If not, it's fine. I mean, obviously, all right, yeah, I don't know, but hopefully soon. And once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I can enable super chat, and that will make it so much easier to do something like that, T. Oh. So I'm going to move the computer back off of my lap and back onto where it usually sits once the game comes back for this third period. What? What, Rob? Boss the stock market? I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean by boss the stock market? Yeah, no, I definitely could do that. I haven't done a gaming video in a while. I need to I definitely need to do some more of those again. Yeah, I could take NHL 07. Yeah, no problem, T. Not a problem at all. Hopefully I'll have super chat soon when I get to 1,000. All right, we're back for the third period. I'm going to move the computer back quickly here. Give it some time there to cool off a bit, although I don't know how much cooling off it did given how hot this thing feels. That's the thing with this computer that's totally different than my old one is this one feels so hot. It runs very, very hot. So I definitely, that's something I could do, sports nerd, is I just like start with like put in NHL '07, start with a team that was really bad in 2007, and then try and rebuild that team, say within 5 years, and try and try and make them good in a short amount of time, or see how quickly I can make them good. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, game's back. Uh, Third period has started. Still 4-1 Pittsburgh. Rangers have possession in the offensive zone now. What was I? I was doing something on here. I'm not sure what. Oh, subscribers. I'm checking my subscriber count. 664 now. Nice. So we got a couple more. So thank you to everyone new who's subscribed. That is awesome. Yeah, they did almost score. Oh, there's another Penguins goal. Hey, thank you, Michael. Really appreciate it. We got another Penguins goal. It's now 5-1 Penguin. This game's over. Pittsburgh is now, with this win, so the original penalty was going to be hooking on the Rangers, and then the puck went into the net before Lundqvist got bowled into, so that's going to count as a goal anyway. The puck was in, and then Malkin, who got hooked down, ran into Lundqvist, not intentionally. So that goal's going to count, and it's 5-1. 5-1 Pittsburgh. This will be their 7th win in a row. They are a team that has turned it around quickly. Oh, here we go. Some after the whistle. They didn't even do anything. Come on. Somebody throw a punch. It's a 5-1 game. Just drop the gloves. Yeah, a Rangers loss would definitely be good for Florida as far as playoffs. Yes, I do think that Jack. I think a lot of players that didn't get into the All-Star game should be in the All-Star game, but there's a very limited number of spots with this format. But I do think Eichel should have gotten in. Eichel is having a tremendous season. Yeah, I mean, it would be great if any of you guys would like to buy my merch. The link to the merch store is in the description of every video. It's very easy to get to. There's a Rangers goal, 5-2. Yep, Rangers get one back, so it's 5-2 now. But yeah, if anyone would like merch, it's literally it's in the description of every video. Really quick and easy to find. You just click that link and it takes you right to the merch store. And obviously, a percentage of the money goes to me, and then the rest of it obviously goes to the manufacturer and the company that the whole thing's run through. But I do get a percentage of it, so it is a way to help out, support the channel. Thank you for the sub, Sports Nerd. Really appreciate it. Just got the notification. Means a lot. It's awesome to see this channel continue to grow, and I hope it does. Yes, I do remember Lucic running over Ryan Miller. It's funny, we already mentioned that earlier in the night, talking about that. Yeah, but what was the worst thing about it was that Buffalo did nothing about it, and I think that was like the start of the downfall of Buffalo, really, because in 2010, Buffalo was a playoff team. And then since then, it's been all downhill. But when Lucic ran over Miller and Buffalo did nothing about it, that was just like, that was such a low time for the Sabres franchise. And then the next, it's funny because they literally went out and got John Scott because of that incident. But it was, Scott wasn't there yet by the time that those teams played again, and it was Paul Gaustad who had the awful time trying to fight Milan Lucic. Lucic just beat the shit out of Gaustad. And then Mike Weber and Zdeno Chara fought in that game too. I remember this whole sequence because I loved this. I absolutely loved this. Actual fun hockey to watch when there's real violence and hatred between the teams. So Lucic beats the shit out of Gaustad. Then Chara and Weber fight. And then I think it was that offseason, Buffalo went off and got John Scott. And then John Scott KO'd Sean Thornton that year that he played in when Scott was in Buffalo and knocked Sean Thornton out for a while. But God, the fact that Buffalo watched their goaltender get absolutely run over and they did nothing about it was just insane. Do I have any team sizes? No, but I would think that like a small or a medium would work for someone who's a teenager. I don't know what the lowest size is, but I know that they have smalls, and I would think that yeah, Rangers got a penalty. Hang on, I can go to this, look at it right now, but yeah, like I would think, like unless you're like way smaller, I would think that like a medium or a small shirt would probably fit you, or even a large. Though I will say that I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8", and a large was big on me, so I got a medium. So mediums fit me really, really well as far as the Spreadshirt shirts go. So hang on, let me go to. I'm just gonna go check it right now. No, I don't live in Massachusetts. About an hour. I can't talk. About an hour away from Boston. So I don't live in Boston, but I am from Mass. Let's see. T-shirt. I'm going to see what they have for small. I would say a small would probably fit you, even if you are small T. I'm 5'8", and I fit in a medium, pretty like skinny. I do have one of the shirts. I did get a large, and it's just a little bit long on me, but not too bad. I still wear it. I would think that a small would fit you. I mean, unless you're like, like 4 feet tall or something, I would think that a small would work. So Pittsburgh hasn't done much on this power play, although they just scored. They should not have scored that. Tanner Pearson with a glove. I mean, your goaltender should have made that save. Yeah, 6-2 Pittsburgh. I cannot believe Lundqvist just let that in. That should have been an easy glove save, and Lundqvist just hasn't been on his game tonight, and that was a bad goal. Oh, you're 5'3". 5'3", so you're like 5 inches shorter than me. Yeah, I would say probably get a small tee. And even if it's a little big, you'll grow into it because you're 15. You're not done growing yet. You'll probably grow at least another 2 inches, if not more. So I would say get a small and see how it is. I don't think it will be that much bigger on you. It'll probably fit fine. And if not, you'll at least grow into it. Because I don't think you're gonna be 5'3" forever. Unless you drink like tons and tons of coffee or caffeine riddled drinks or something that might stunt your growth, but you'll probably grow at least 2 more inches. Yeah, I don't think Lundqvist should have played in the third period. I think they should have changed goalies at the intermission and just had Gorgiev come in. Gorgiev. I don't know how you pronounce it. The Islanders have been much better than expected. I think they can compete for a wild card team. I think that they're a pretty damn good team even without John Tavares. Still obvious questions about the goaltending and defense, but there's a lot of talent on that team. Barzal is incredible. But Anders Lee is just great. Josh Bailey is a extremely underrated player. There's a lot of good things going on with the Islanders, and I don't know if they'll make the playoffs or not, but they definitely can compete for a playoff spot this year. Yes, I do think Buffalo is going to make the playoffs, without a doubt. They're a talented team. They're putting it all together this year. I think Buffalo. I do think that Boston passes Buffalo in the division, but I think Buffalo gets in as a wild card team. So yeah, I do think Buffalo gets in. I mean, I just say T because it's shorter, and like I don't. Some of you guys I know like who your real names and like who you are, but some of you I don't. So I just have to go off your username, and like rather than say T flu, I just say T. Yes, I do watch the hockey guy. I've been watching his channel for a long time. I don't watch every video or anything. There was a stretch where, like, when I first found his channel, I was really into it, and I would watch every video and stuff, and I was, like, a very active subscriber. But, yeah, I'm not, that was just, like, for a while, and then I kind of stopped watching for a bit. But I still watch depending on the video and if it's a topic that really interests me. But and yeah, I'm a big fan of the hockey guy. I think he has a very, very good channel, and I can only hope that this channel could someday be as successful as his. He's got a tremendous channel and has been extremely successful at using YouTube as a fan to talk about hockey. If the Isles weren't at the position they're at now, yeah, no, you have Barry Trotz as the head coach. You have Lou Lamoriello in the front office. You have Matt Barzal as your team's future. I do think I do think that the Islanders have a very bright future, and that they're in a good situation going forward. And if they can keep, I mean, look at what they did in last year's draft, getting Noah Dobson, and Oliver Wahlstrom back-to-back picks. I mean, they're continuing to bring in good young talent and guys with lots of potential. So I think that they do have a bright future ahead of them and are headed in the right direction. Ooh, I mean, he does post a lot of videos, but he does this full time. He does YouTube full time. So, I would expect him to do like 4 or 5 videos a day. I do videos almost every day, usually 2 or 3 at a time, sometimes 4 or 5. So if you don't like the fact that he posts so many videos, I mean, just don't watch them all, and don't turn notifications on if you don't like too many videos. That if you turn notifications off, then you won't get any notifications when he posts, and you can just watch the videos that you want. But I wouldn't unsub over that. Nassau Coliseum. I wish that they would go back to Nassau full time. Hang on, shit. Chat's moving too fast for me to answer here. Yeah, no, the Islanders do not belong in Brooklyn. They do not belong in the Barclays Center. That whole thing has been an absolute disaster. Go back to Long Island, which they are with the new Belmont Park building. Go back to Long Island, where you belong. Play in Nassau Coliseum until they build that new arena in Belmont Park. And the Islanders should never leave Long Island again. Um, yeah, I like the hockey guy. No, Brendan, don't. It's only a couple of bad seasons. Every rebuild turns into something good. Usually, the Rangers will eventually be good again. Um, Rasmus Dahlin is having a great season. Rookie year, nothing. He hasn't been flashy. He hasn't been putting up superstar numbers or anything. But the kid is 18 years old, playing defense, which defensemen usually don't develop until much later than forwards. Um, uh, Rasmus Dahlin has been about as solid as you could have asked for as an 18-year-old defenseman in the NHL. He's only going to continue to get better. And I think in the future, long term, he's going to end up getting paid probably. Well, the thing with money is that the salary cap continues to keep going up. So salaries continue to keep going up. So by the time Dahlin needs to sign a long-term deal, that the market value of a player like that is probably going to be higher than what it is now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him, if he were getting that long-term deal now, he'd probably get paid similar to what John Carlson in what a John Carlson in Washington would be getting paid. But by the time that he gets a long-term deal, it might be like 11 million dollars a year. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Yes, the Rangers will be good again at some point. Yes, this has been a pretty boring game. Do I like other sports? Yes, I like football. Um, Big into the NFL. Hockey's my number one sport, obviously. I don't really watch a ton of baseball, but if it's on, I'll watch it. I'm not really into basketball at all, except for the NCAA March Madness tournament. Then I am the biggest basketball fan ever, mostly just because of watching my bracket and see how I do, which usually isn't very good because that's the only time I watch basketball. So I know nothing about the teams other than their seeding when I'm filling out my bracket. But the NCAA tournament is just always wicked fun to watch. So I follow other sports, but hockey's definitely my number one. All right, T. See you later, man. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Um, See, I don't know much about that Belmont Park area. I know that it's where the racetrack is, where the horse racing is, but I don't know much else about that area. Oh yeah, Crosby and Malkin are very underpaid by today's market value because back when they signed their long-term deals, um, $7 million a year for or $8 million a year for a player was a ton, but now it's like $11 million a year. That's a lot, or 10 and a half. That's a lot. So the salary cap has continued to rise, and player salaries are rising with it. Yeah, Buffalo sports are finally starting to get better. I mean, the Bills have Josh Allen as their QB of the future. Hopefully, they can put some weapons around him. Buffalo Sabres are really on the upswing, so things are finally getting good for Buffalo sports. Justin Schultz is going to be a massive return for this Pittsburgh team. Pittsburgh's defense is really probably their main weak point at this point. Getting Schultz back will be massive. Really help them out a lot. Yeah, hopefully Allen doesn't crash a motorcycle and get injured and then rape someone. But without all that drama, he can be a. I think he can be a very good quarterback. Oh, there's a good chance for Jesper Foss. Big save by Murray. Yes, I believe Drew Doughty is absolutely overpaid. Listen, he's a very good defenseman, but look at where that team's at. Look at his age, and then, he can't. He obviously isn't enough himself to make the Kings good, as they're one of the worst teams in the league this year with him. So, yes, Matt Murray will now be 7-0 since returning, which will definitely. I mean, that's a very good sign for the Penguins. Salty Ranger fan, Brendan. I did not get to see the Winter Classic, unfortunately, yesterday. Otherwise, I would have streamed during that instead of this game. But I was at a family party for New Year's during the Winter Classic, so I didn't get to see it. I was very happy to see the Bruins win, though. God, Patrice Bergeron's back check on that breakaway, and then to come right back down to the other end of the ice and score a goal is just peak Patrice Bergeron. He's probably my favorite player in the league. He is just unbelievable. Yeah, the Penguins will suck when Crosby and Malkin all get old and retire, and Letang will be gone, and they'll have to go through a rebuild period just like everyone else that is good for a long period of time, and then eventually they go through a rebuild stage like every other team. Ooh, Eichel or Matthews. I mean, listen, Jack Eichel and Austin Matthews are both tremendous, tremendous hockey players. Far better hockey players than 99% of people ever are. So I'm not knocking either one of them, but I would personally pick Austin. Austin Matthews. I don't even know why. I just think there might be slightly higher upside as far as, I think Matthews is a better goal scorer. Eichel may be a better assist man and a setup guy. I think Matthews is a better goal scorer, and I think Matthews. The thing that I don't like about Austin Matthews is he does not play well. He does not play physical hockey well. And the playoffs are as physical as it gets as far as hockey is concerned, which means Matthews tends to disappear at times in the playoffs. And I don't like that. However, Eichel isn't the most physical player either. So I don't know how he's going to react to getting pushed around in a playoff series. So neither of those guys are really, super physical guys, and that can end up being a problem come playoff times. When you look at the players that do play really well in the playoffs, a lot of them are guys who aren't afraid to get involved physically, like Ovechkin in Washington, Philip Forsberg in Nashville. He can play physical when he needs to, and he's a big body. Who else? I'm thinking the guys up in Winnipeg, guys like Blake Wheeler, and Mark Scheifele. They are not afraid to get their hands dirty and play physical hockey if they need to, and that leads to good playoff performances. Whereas, from what I've seen from Matthews so far, he can be pushed around, and he does not like it when you go at him physically, which is why the Bruins have so much success against Toronto, especially when they play in Boston, because Boston just roughs up the Maple Leafs. They physically beat them up, and Toronto doesn't know how to handle that, Matthews included. I really want to see Eichel in the playoffs this year because I want to see how Eichel reacts to that, because he's never been in an NHL playoff series, in an NHL playoff game. He doesn't really, I want to see how he reacts to a long series of getting physically abused playing physical playoff hockey. Will Connor McDavid ever win a cup in Edmonton? Not as long as Peter Chiarelli's GM. If they fire Chiarelli, maybe. But as long as Peter Chiarelli's GM, McDavid will never win a cup in Edmonton. My favorite gritty player ever. That is really tough because I am absolutely in love with physical, old-time gritty hockey. And I could name off so many players like that. But the first name that really comes to mind for me has to be Wendell Clark. I absolutely love Wendell Clark. I could name a bunch of Bruins too. Those old late 60s, 70s Bruins team with guys like Terry O'Reilly and Wayne Cashman. And I could the list goes on and on. I could name any of those guys, but Wendell Clark, just his ability to be a high production offensive player, score goals, and also fight and throw massive body checks and play overall physically, I would have to say Wendell Clark. If I were to ever get a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, the only player I would want on it would be Wendell Clark, number 17. No, I haven't. Honestly, I don't pay too much attention to prospects because I don't get to watch junior hockey here in where I live. I don't get to see like the OHL or the Quebec League or the WHL or anything. So I don't really follow prospects that closely. Game 7 Stanley Cup final. Sidney Crosby, just because he's been there before. Definitely Crosby. Have any of Crosby's series gone to 7 games? Crosby has the playoff success. Crosby has the Stanley Cup pedigree. So I'm taking experience in that situation. Sidney Crosby. Oh, that was just another goal. So what's that now? 7-2 Pittsburgh. 7-2 Pittsburgh. This game, long over. All right, so 6 minutes left in this game. 7-2 Pittsburgh. This game. Yeah, no, Pittsburgh. This is a team that can do no wrong right now. They are on absolute fire. Yeah, no, Pittsburgh and Washington, I think, are clearly the two best teams in this division. Yes, I do watch Urinating Tree, one of my absolute favorite YouTube channels ever. He is so funny, just absolutely shitting on teams and people. It's fantastic. I love Urinating Tree. Pittsburgh's committing necrophilia. Yeah, that's pretty accurate for this game. Oh, there's a chance for the Rangers. Nice save by Murray. Yeah. F you, Spanos. Urinating Tree is a great, great YouTube channel. Final 4 minutes left. hopefully the clock just keeps running for the rest of this game. I'm sure that Pittsburgh is ready to just move on to their get home and get ready for their 3-game homestand. I'm sure the Rangers are ready for this shit to be over. Getting embarrassed on home ice is never something that you want to do as a hockey player. Well, as an Isles fan, you really don't want either of these teams to win, but one of them has to. Hey, at least as an Isles fan, this game is going to end in regulation, which means that nobody gets the loser point, which helps out the Isles in the standings. Somebody is getting 0 points out of this. So from an Islanders standpoint, that's good. Better than the game going to overtime and each team getting at least 1 point. Um, I've watched some of all of those channels, but I haven't like regularly watched them like every video or anything. But I watch all of those channels from time to time, depending on what comes up in my recommended feed and stuff like that. Hey, Dat Boy, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. And I know you're just stopping in to say hi, and thank you for doing that. It's good to have you here, even if it's just for a few seconds. Yeah, Reaps Films. I've seen some of those videos too. Yeah, I'm on YouTube quite a bit, so I follow. Like I'm watching every day or watching every video or anything. Ugh. If the season ended today, who would win the Hart? That would be very, very difficult. For me, the two players you have McKinnon and Rantanen in Colorado, and they would probably cancel each other out. I think Kucherov now, after the month that he just had in December, has a very strong Hart case. Connor McDavid always has a Hart case just because of how good he is, but the team isn't good, so that pretty much knocks him out of Hart standings because the team isn't good. So that generally the Hart winner has to come from a team that's good, at least in the playoffs. I think Eichel has a long shot chance at it. I don't know. That is really, really tough to call at this point in the season, because every player that's near the top of the points charts and like playing really, really well, putting up huge numbers, has a teammate that's also putting up huge numbers. In Draisaitl, like they all kind of cancel each other out. So I really don't know who would win Hart at this point. I would say my guess if the season ended right now would be Nikita Kucherov would get it based on how the league, the people who vote on it usually vote. I think they would give it to Kucherov at this point. Yeah, I mean Barzal's having an incredible season. But I don't think he's in the in the Hart category right now. Buffalo sports is an exercise in misery. Yeah, for a long time it has been, for sure. Yeah, scoring's way up. There's a lot of scoring in the NHL now, which I think is good. The more goals, the more exciting. Especially if you're not going to have physical hockey, and it seems like the NHL moves further and further away from physical hockey every year. Listen, if you're not going to have a lot of hitting and many fights, you damn well better have a lot of goals, or you're just going to put everyone to sleep. So it's now I think the best hockey would be having a lot of goals and also having tons of hitting and fights and violence. That would be the ultimate best hockey, but they definitely need a lot of goals. Hey, No problem, man. Fans of all teams are welcome on this channel. Everyone's welcome here. Everyone who watches and likes hockey. Doesn't matter what team you're a fan of. I'm just personally a Bruins fan. And they're my team, always have been and always will be. Final minute of this game now, so we're going to start wrapping the stream up. No, I do not have a Rubik's Cube. Also, yeah, if you don't mind telling us, who's your uncle that played for the Habs? Because that is actually really freaking cool. That is really cool. Just to have, have someone in your family like that that's played pro hockey. I think Mike Milbury is really funny to listen to. Like, he's such a hard ass and such an old school guy. I mean, I think he's entertaining and fun to listen to. I think he's an atrocious NHL GM, and I think he proved that in his time as a GM. But he's a guy that I like. I think he's fun to listen to and is entertaining. He has no problem calling people out. He takes shots at guys. Like, it's just pure entertainment. And he beat a fan in the stands with a shoe, which is just absolutely awesome. All right, hang on, guys. I'm going to try and answer all of these questions here in order. How was my New Year? Absolutely incredible. Best New Year's Eve of my life. Just such a fun time with my friends. Just absolutely incredible New Year's Eve. Hope you guys had a great New Year's too. And I hope all the best for you guys in 2019. Rick Jaranet is awesome. Absolutely great announcer. Really, really fun to listen to. Anytime I'm watching old Sabres fights or brawls or anything that I watch on YouTube, I love hearing Rick Jaranet's calls of it. So he's just great. Oh, okay. Wow, that's awesome, Maddie. Yep, Peter and Frank Mahavlich. Yeah, classic names there. Yes, Hugh Jackson is a terrible NFL head coach. Yeah, Baker Mayfield absolutely shredded Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson's a terrible head coach. He might be a good assistant coach, but he is an awful head coach. All right, so this game's over. Colorado and San Jose's on after this. I'm not going to stream during that game. I'm just doing this game tonight. I'm still very tired from New Year's Eve. We were up until like 4 a.m., so I still haven't recovered from that. But I will talk to you guys all very soon. I should be doing some videos tomorrow. Definitely one about the All-Star Game players and picks. And also, I got a couple other things in mind, the Vancouver-Ottawa trade today. So expect some videos tomorrow. If you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. As long as you're a fan of hockey and a fan of the NHL, there are videos here for you. I do stuff from across the NHL, so it doesn't matter what team you're a fan of. I'll end up talking about them at some point. I also do live streams like this pretty regularly every couple of weeks, and then more often in the playoffs. Give this stream a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because I found out over doing YouTube now for the past year that liking, likes on videos really help out a lot. So give it a thumbs up. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. Let's see. Yeah, see you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to end the stream now. Might watch a little bit of the Sharks Avalanche game, but I'm not going to stream during it. And I'll probably at most watch the first period. So see you guys later, and tune in tomorrow for some recorded content. Thanks, guys.